Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Ocean's Pit, the little show about big things. I hope you guys are having a great day today. I want to thank you all for tuning in today. Today is Monday, April 13th. Not Monday. What am I saying? Today's Wednesday, the 13th of April. I hope you guys are doing well, everybody. We got a great show lined up for you guys today, and we got so much stuff happening. First of all, thank you for everybody tuning in for all the stories and stuff that you keep sending us every day. We really appreciate it. We got so much stuff that we can't even talk about. I want to thank you all for tuning in, folks. Don't forget also, folks, every show is dedicated to the first responders. That's the doctors and the nurses and the teachers and the farmers and the firemen and the policemen, everybody working very hard. Check the website in the bottom of the page there, TonyOceanMusic.com. Give us a call at 847-769-8609 to book a show, folks. And let's get some sponsors, folks. I want to thank our sponsors to watch the show, of course. Thank you. Number one, McCampbell Law Group. That's Roy McCampbell, attorney at law, a statewide law practice that is client-focused and results driven. That's right. That's McCampbell, Roy McCampbell, and lawyers. One of the best. Honest guy, a great guy. Check my buddy out at Roy. Tell him Tony O sent you. Also, folks, let's not forget our good buddies from Airtight Windows. Airtight Windows Specialist Sidings, family owned for 30 years for honesty and quality. Do it right with Airtight. Call my buddy Lou at 708-7885. They will take care of you, folks. Let's not forget our good buddies from Don Esteban Cigars out of Tarpon Springs, Florida. Those hand-rolled cigars delivered right to your home. Now that everything is warming up a little bit, folks, you'll be sitting outside in the backyard, out on the boat, whatever you guys do, man. He hands rolls them. He does a great job at it. Call my buddy Javier at my good buddy at Don Esteban Cigars at 727-366-7536. Ask for the Tony Ocean cigar as well. And let's not forget Trico Hair Experts. They're out of Rosemont, Illinois, ladies and gentlemen. Anthony and Carmela do an incredible job. 773-999-7888, recreating great hair days. Now, we're on to YouTube, folks. Don't forget, we're on Facebook Monday through Friday, 12 o'clock noon. But you can also check us out on YouTube. Go to the subscribe on the channel there and give us a little like on the bell. Also, folks, you can check the show out on Twitter if you're not a Facebook or YouTube guy. We have Twitter and YouTube. So today we got a great show for you. A good friend of ours, Mr. Lou Villano, ladies and gentlemen. And let me tell you something. If you love Paul Anka, then you're going to love Lou. He's been all around the world traveling. We're going to talk about Lou, about what he does with Paul Anka, all the great songs Paul Anka wrote, the great show that Lou does. I'm excited to have him on. So we're going to have a lot of fun, folks. So let's start the show right now.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Ocean's Pit, the little show about big things. And now, your host, Mr. Tony Ocean.
Thank you, Nelson, and welcome to Ocean's Pit, the little show about big things. Also, folks, give our big round of applause our good friends from Hardcore Italians. Go to Hardcore Italian Chicago and like the page. Mike and the group do an incredible job supporting anything Italian, especially with the and they got one in New York, in Florida. They got one in everywhere. So Hardcore Italian Chicago, give them a look. Like the page. They do great jobs over there. This is great. I want to say hello to some people here tonight. Thank you guys, because yesterday we took off. Get some therapy stuff done on my neck, but it's getting much better. Mary, how you doing, Yvette? We got our good friends, ladies and gentlemen. We have New York watching. We have New Jersey watching, Wisconsin, Santa Barbara. Hello, Iowa. Hi, Kathy. How you doing? Mark, almost thought it was a rerun. There you go, Richard. How you doing, buddy? I hope you're doing well. I hope everybody's well. Ocean's Pit, little show about big things. A lot of good things to talk about today. I want to thank, first of all, great weekend we had. And thank you for the good people that come to show up at all those great gigs. Now, here's what we got going on this week. Tonight we'll be at Avanzari Italian restaurant in Lombard. That's a 5:30 hit tonight with Jerry Jams. Tomorrow we'll be at Mojo. We'll be at Riley's Gathering Place with my new rock band, Mojo's Jukebox. We're excited about that. That show starts at 8 o'clock. And right now, Mistaken Identity, the band that when I'm not with them, they're Mistaken Identity. They've been opening for Chicago, the big band from Chicago. They were just in Champaign yesterday, so it's going to be great seeing them guys tomorrow at Riley's Gathering Place in Elmhurst. It's at 8 o'clock. Friday, we'll be at Chicago Prime Steakhouse. Me and my good buddy Jerry Jams will be with us on Friday. And Saturday, we're returning to Norton's in Highland Park with Ryan O'Ryan and my good buddy, of course, Regina Karma. Isabella Drake, hope you're well. Joanne, Joe, all the way from Wisconsin. Hello, Sherry from Arizona watching. This is Ocean's Pit. Folks, we got a lot of good stuff now. After just getting back from Mexico and Arizona and Florida, another Ocean's Rat Pack takes another. Hello, Mikey, my good buddy from Good Clean Fun. They're part of our big anniversary show coming up. Luann from New York. I love you, honey. And I hope everybody's well over there with that crazy stuff that happened on the subway in Brooklyn. Our prayers go out to all that. Crazy people still in this crazy world, folks. Hey, Ocean's Rat Pack will be on the road Sunday, April 24th. We're going to St. Louis, Missouri at Casa Loma Ballroom. We'll be with Everett Dean. So it's the Rat Pack meets Elvis Presley. I'm excited about Everett's a great guy. And the Casa Loma, Pat does a great job with a great ballroom. They have a lot of great shows there. So we're going to be there. Don't forget now, folks, May 1st, we're going to be the St. Jude's benefit at the Arcada Theater in St. Charles, Ron Onesti's Arcada Theater. And we've done it back in December, and we're doing it again. Nick Sahajas puts it together for Phyllis's brother, Jimmy Zito, and for everybody involved in St. Jude's. It's a great benefit. That's Sunday, May 1st. Go to oshows.com. But the big one also coming up is my 30th anniversary show. 30th anniversary show is going to be at the Des Plaines Theater Sunday, May 29th. I'm so excited, folks. Tickets at oshows.com. And listen to this lineup. Besides Nick Sahajas and his 10-piece band, which is unbelievable, we have the incredible Regina Karma, Kim Peterson-LaFew, Denise Tomasello. We've got the Jersey Girls. We've got the Rat Pack, Ocean's Rat Pack, of course. We have Jack D'Amico, funny man, Matt Cassane. We got John Vincent from the Chicago Cubs, of course, sings the national anthem, a lot of fun. We have Mojo's Jukebox. We have the Dream Police. We have Mike and Tracy from Good, Clean Fun. And the list goes on and on. The main event band, Tony Toto, Danny Ramondi, Anthony Napolitano, Daryl Armenstad. It's an incredible a show celebrating 30 years of in my career, doing it full time. And I'm so proud of everybody. Thank you so much that still comes out and supports me. Marion, how you doing? I hope you got your autographed picture of Bill Melton and of Dennis. I hope you got your Jim McMahon autographed picture as well. Hope to see you Thursday. Thank you, Robert. Hope to see you too, my brother. All right, so that's going to be, again, Sunday, May 29th at the Des Plaines Theater, oshows.com. Of course, Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Ron Onesti. So we're really excited. Now, yesterday we had a rehearsal at Nick Sahajas' place, him and Phyllis, of course, rehearsing for the St. Jude's benefit. And it was great seeing Diva and Regina and Stephanie and John Trencali and the band and Lee Stevens and John Anthony. We're just putting these bunch of great entertainers together for this great cause for St. Jude's that we do every year. So I'm very happy with that. I'm so excited. All right. So a couple other things here. Let's not forget to go out and support local establishments and live entertainment. It's very, very important. Thank you for asking about Mama D. She's always doing good. We love her when you guys say hello to her and prayers to her. She's a great mother-in-law. She's a great mom, and she's doing much better. Thank you for that. And my neck is much better too, folks. I just slept on it wrong last week. You know, I sleep with a ceiling fan, and then I have my regular fan. So it was crazy. So the last couple of Tuesdays for the month of April, we've been taking care of it. So thank you for everybody that's been asking about that. Thank you, Michelle. I hope you're doing well. And it's great, folks. So Mojo's Jukebox, we're excited about that tomorrow. If you like the old 70s and 80s rock and roll music, remember, that's where I started before I turned my whole career around, became Tony Ocean. So if you like that old 70s stuff, it's going to be great. That's at 8 o'clock show at Riley's Gathering Place tomorrow. I caught a draft, Albert. We got Albert from the Ron Onesti organization, and they had a great free concert, and for all the money that they raised, of course, for our friends from Ukraine, and Ron Onesti put that great concert together. So Great job, and kudos to Ron Onesti. All right, without any further ado, when you mention the name Paul Anka, what do you think of? Okay, you think of Canadian Paul Anka. You think about singer-songwriter. Wrote great songs. She's a Lady for Tom Jones. Let Me Try Again for Frank Sinatra. How about My Way, of course? How about the Times of Our Life from Kodak? Remember that commercial? How about the Tonight Show theme? Remember how many times you hear da, 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 da? That's Paul Anka, baby. Plus his own great songs. A Lonely Boy, Put Your Head on My Shoulders. Diana, You Are My Destiny. How about Heaven, My Baby? Anyway, you want all Paul Anka rolled up in one, baby? We got him right here. And my good friend Lou Villano's on, and he's going to be on. So let's bring my boy on. Louie, how you doing, pal?
Hey, T, how are you?
How are you doing, man? Thank you, first of all, for being on the show. And you know what? I know you're a busy guy. You're all over the place, man. Your resume is just fantastic.
Thank you.
Between Vegas, New York, Florida, Catskills, you do it all. So let's, some of the people that might not be familiar with you, Lou, give me a little rundown. Where were you born, my friend?
Brooklyn, New York, Tony. Good old Brooklyn. In fact, right near, right near Sunset Park when that whole thing happened yesterday. So that's my neighborhood. Was there until we moved to Florida in 2006.
2006. Okay, you have a big family, Lou?
Got 2 boys, got 6 grandkids, and my wife has a son and a daughter and 2 grandkids. So between us, we have 8 grandkids. And it's a big Italian family in the Villano circle.
God bless you, man. Congratulations on all that. What part of Italy are you from, Lou? Family?
It's part Naples and Calabrese.
So a little bit in both. Okay, you're
That's it. A half-breed. Half-breed.
Lou, let me ask you, do you speak Italian? Because I speak it, read it, and write it myself. I talk to my mom every day. My real name is Maurizio. But nobody can pronounce it at the time. Do you speak at all?
No, not at all. My grandparents spoke. My parents spoke. Whenever they didn't want us to hear something, you know, that old Italian thing, when you don't want the kids to hear anything, speak in Italian. So never picked it up. Never picked it up.
Lou, looking back, was there somebody in your family, grandfather or somebody that made you want to become a singer? Was there an influence when you were younger growing up?
Actually, Tony, my mom was an amateur singer. She went by the name of Lily White. And, you know, back in those days in the 20s and 30s, you had to work. And her career was only as an amateur singer. And I guess what happened was I went on a kids' TV show and I sang a song from a grade school play that I was in. And somebody had said, who's that? Whose son is that? And my mom said, well, that's mine. And they said, well, if anything, you should give him singing lessons because he sounds really good. And that's all she had to hear. So I basically took over for my mother's career.
There you go. And now look, you're living your life through your mom, which is kind of cool.
That's
Growing
right.
up as an Italian, Lou, though, was it hard, though? I know it was when I decided to do this for a living and I quit the bakery. And my dad for a while gave me a, let's say, un citrullo, what are you doing here?
Right.
Did you get a hard time when you were growing up saying, Ma, Dad, this is what I want to do?
No, not at all. My dad worked 3 jobs and owned his own business to give me singing lessons, dancing lessons, acting lessons. So I got the whole scope. And not that they pushed me, I enjoyed doing it. And then I just fell into stuff and it just happened. So I wasn't pushed at all. I wanted it as much as they wanted it.
See, and that's fantastic when they actually support you. And I think growing up and you have that support, a lot of people become, it's better because I know a lot of my friends didn't have that support, and that can really bring you down. So you were growing up. Do you remember what was the first live act that you seen or you heard? Were you a Beatle fan?
Oh, I love the Beatles, but I was into, actually, my favorite singer was Bobby Rydell.
Oh, fantastic!
I
And we just
adored.
lost Bobby. Unbelievable.
I know. I have some people down here that were very good friends with him. He wasn't a well guy, but I bought all his 45s. I had his albums. I would sing his songs. The movie that he was in, Bye Bye Birdie.
Birdie, yeah.
I must have seen that like 3, 4 times. Uh, I loved him. I really, really loved him. He was my favorite.
Well, I noticed you do some Bobby about Rydell on your show too, as well, and you're a
Yep.
big Bobby Darin guy as well. I mean, look at Bobby. My God, what
Yep.
a talent he was, Lou. Oh,
Oh.
my God.
Yep. He was incredible. He had his ups and downs in his career. When he went to start to doing the spiritual stuff and the
Yes.
country western stuff and
Yes.
with the drugs and
Yeah.
everything, but he still managed to keep it going. And I think the movie with Kevin Spacey kind of like gave you an insight behind the scenes as to what kind of a life the guy had between
Yeah.
the oxygen tank and the mask and trying to do his shows.
Yeah, and then finding out later in his life that his sister was really his mother.
Mother, right, yep.
Whatever. I mean, that's just got to be crazy. But
Oh,
he played a lot of instruments. He wrote some great songs.
Yep.
What a. He probably would he have been bigger than Sinatra if he didn't die. I don't know, but very close.
close.
Very
Five
close.
instruments this guy played.
Yeah, and a great actor. Great
Yep.
actor. Too.
Yep.
Very well. So let's get to some good stuff here. Why Paul Anka? I mean, Paul Anka's fantastic, but why Paul Anka?
Right. Okay. Started my shows here in Florida, and I would do like Put Your Head on My Shoulder. I would do a version of Diana. I do 1 or 2, maybe 3 songs of Paul Anka mixed in with some other variety stuff. And
Sure.
as the years kept going on and the audiences down here started to get familiar with me, I had people come up to me at the end of a show and say, "Hey, Lou, why don't you do more of Paul Anka?" So I would ask them, "Well, why would you want more of Paul Anka? He's still around. You could still go see him." And they said, "Well, we're looking at you on stage. You have a lot of his moves. You sound like him a little bit. You're short like him. You have a tan. Your hairline is like him." I said, "Yeah, but wait a second. I have one. He has one thing I don't have: his money." And they said,
Yeah.
why don't you do more of Paul Anka?" So I thought about it, and at that particular time, about 4 or 5 years ago, the tributes started to come in.
Sure.
And there were the Sinatras, the Deans, then the Elton Johns, and all these other guys. And then I said, you know what? Maybe it's time. So I started to put together a Paul Anka show. First, it was 45 minutes. Then it was 60 minutes. Then I blew it out to 90 plus minutes. And that's the way it's gone. That's why I did the show. I am having so much fun doing this show because I actually become Paul Anka, and the people think at the end of the show, I'm Paul Anka.
And that's what they want to hear. But you know what? And the great thing about Paul Anka, I don't know how many tribute artists out there that are doing Paul Anka, but I'm going to tell you something. You can go from the 50s all the way from, a Lonely Boy, and then he's got his, 60s and 70s stuff. I mean, he just doesn't stop, this guy.
Yep.
I mean, he's got a catalog of great songs, and then the songs he wrote for other people. It's just been I remember you telling me a story that you got to meet Paul Anka, right? How was that?
It was unbelievable. He was such a nice. I met him after my wife and I met him after a show in Fort Pierce, and he talked. I told him about the show, that I do a tribute show about him, and he looks at me. He looks at me up and down, and he says to me, he said, "About the same size." He said, "See my assistant after we're done and give her your information." He says, "I'm going to send you one of my tuxedos for you to wear." So I gave my information, and guess what, Tony? I never got the tuxedo.
You never got the tuxedo.
Never got the tuxedo. No.
Well, you know what?
Nope.
You know what? But at least he knew you were there, and he caught your
Correct.
attention. And maybe there's a little standoffish. All of a sudden, now there's another guy doing. Now,
No, I know.
you know what? You meet people sometimes, and I think the impersonations like that or tributes is a compliment to some entertainers, but some entertainers kind of look they don't like that sometimes.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
That is
I don't
correct.
know why you're keeping you're keeping his music alive.
Well,
You know,
that's the
and that's
point, because
fantastic.
I'm reaching I'm performing it for all age groups, and there are people that'll look at me like, well, who was Paul Anka? So you mentioned Diana, or you mentioned Put Your Head on My Shoulder, and they'll go, oh yeah, but they don't realize after you do the show all the other songs that he did. That's the point. Getting more of his music out there, even though in the show he does a lot of them, and that's what
Yeah.
I try and duplicate in the show.
Yeah.
So it's really it's like I said, it's a lot of fun to do.
And you get a lot of, like I said, and he had so many great songs, ladies and gentlemen. Lou Villano, ladies and gentlemen, #1 Paul Anka impersonator. We're gonna do a quick sponsor, folks. Let's not forget our friends from Deutz Power Center. That's Deutz Power Center, bottom of the screen. Great Lakes, servicing the construction and diesel industry in the Chicagoland area for the last 100 years. Call my good friend Sal at 224-276-6550. That's Deutz Power Center. We got our good buddy here, Lou Villano, ladies and gentlemen, originally from New York, now in Florida, doing the great songs of Paul Anka. Now, you did Vegas, you did New York, of course, Florida, Catskills. Do you have a favorite place that you'd like to? What was your favorite experience out of all those places you performed at?
Favorite place. You know, they're all great places. Down here, some of the big theaters in the major communities, they have state-of-the-art production facilities. The sound system, surround sound, the multimedia that we play during the show, and all, setting up the band and all. So they're all really, really good. I don't think I've ever really played a bad sounding venue.
That's
And
fantastic.
the
How was it that Villa Roma there in the Catskills? I bet you that
Villa
was fun.
Villa Roma is great, and it's really a fun place. All the paisans go there.
Absolutely.
Yep, and Staten Island, the Bronx, Brooklyn,
Yeah.
you get them all there, and they really appreciate when you do the show. And in fact, I have a tour coming up in July. I'm going to be in Holyoke, Massachusetts, and the agent that books the Villa Roma is supposed to be giving me a date, hopefully, when I'm up there to do the Villa Roma again. So I'm hoping for that.
Again.
Yeah.
Ooh, a lot of other things besides. I mean, give me a little. This is interesting. Longest Day, Sammy Davis Jr. I'm Not Anymore. How did that come about? Now that is so cool to have on your resume. How did that all happen?
I research what Anchor has done, what he's doing, as I put the show together. And The Longest Day is a great movie. It's June 6, 1944, invasion in Normandy. He got called by Daryl Zanuck to have a part in the show. New York Army Ranger soldier. He's in there with Fabian, Tommy Sands, Sal Mineo, Robert Mitchum, John Wayne. He's with everybody. Yeah. And he's doing his part, and he's hearing this thing about having a song in the show, in the movie. And Zanuck refuses him, wants no music. And he eventually goes back to, I think at the time he was living in New Jersey, and he decides he's going to go into the studio and do the song, sends it to Zanuck. Zanuck calls him up and tells him, we're going to have music in this movie. And I had a special track made for it because you can't get it made, and a special arrangement when I do the band. And it's great. And we show video of a little clip of Anka in a troop carrier with Robert Wagner. And then it flips in as the song starts, it flips in to actual clips of the invasion in Normandy with all the soldiers on the beachhead.
Wow. That's it.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. Besides the show, and you got all the multiple media stuff behind you, the visual, it really takes people back in a time when, and I hear this when we do our stuff. You know, it's like, hey man, some of the older people, they're saying, you bring me back to a time when things were easier, and we enjoy all these great songs. I mean, let's go down the list of songs.
Mm-hmm.
Lonely Boy, Put Your Head on My Shoulders, Diana, You Are My Destiny. How about he had a little when he came out in 1970s with Having My Baby? There was a little problem. I mean, I thought it was a great song. I mean, it's Paul Anka, right?
There was a little controversy with that.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
CNN rated it as the worst song ever.
I don't know about that. I can look, Lou. You know as well as I do the garbage that's been on the radio the last 10 years. 10 or 15 years, I put Having My Baby on any of these horrible songs. I mean, I remember another song on that list they said was horrible was Feelings by Morris Albert, but it's an incredible song. You know what I mean? It's just these guys that don't know anything. But the songs that he wrote for other people that people don't realize. She's a Lady for Tom Jones, of course.
Correct.
Let Me Try Again for Francis Albert. Of course, let's get what's the story behind My Way? Now we know it wasn't it a French song? And then
Comme d'habitude. That was the French song.
He put the English lyrics into the song?
Right. Well, he took the French lyrics out because Comme d'habitude means it's usual in French. So he liked the melody, and he heard the song while he was on holiday in the south of France. And he drove up to Paris to get the publishing rights for the song, came back with it, sat with it, and then wrote My Way at 1:00 in the morning. I think it was in the Fontainebleau Hotel in Florida, because he had been at a dinner with Frank Sinatra and all the Goombas.
Sure.
And Frank was carrying on about how he wanted to get out of the business. He had it. He was done. You know, the way Frank gets. And Anka sat down and wrote it. And in 4 hours, he wrote the words. And he called Frank as he was getting finished with a show in Vegas, played it for Frank. Frank loved it. And Anka told his management people about the song. And they did not want him to give it to Sinatra. They wanted him to do it. And he said, no, either Sinatra does it or no one does it.
Right.
And that's what happened. They recorded it. Sinatra recorded it between Christmas and New Year's of 1968. And then they released it in March of 1969. And it's the killer song. It's the killer song.
It's a killer song, and a lot of people get confused. It was written for Mrs. Sinatra. No disrespect to Elvis, but the song was written for Frank. And even people think it's an Elvis song. Frank has done it. It's probably been covered by so many different entertainers. But when I think of My Way, I think of Frank Sinatra, not Elvis Presley. But Elvis did a good version of it, and I like his ending.
He did.
You know, I love that. But it's still St. Francis songs. And then, you know, besides some of those great songs that he did, let's forget some of the great commercials. When you've seen Kodak, The Times of Our Life is one of the most beautiful song. I love that one. And then let's not forget the Tonight Show. How many years you'd hear that? I mean, I don't even know how that. Lou, have any idea how that came about?
He was in with a bunch of writers, and I don't really know the whole backstory to it, but apparently there were, I think, 4 to 6 writers for that song that he was involved with. But I think he was one of the main people that wrote the theme for the show.
And I forgot what he got paid. Someone told me, I forgot what it was. Every time it was on, I don't know how many years the Carson Show, Tonight Show was on, but you heard it in the beginning of the show and you heard it at the end of the show. Unbelievable. Besides Paul Anka, what else do you do in your live shows? I know you do Bobby Rydell. We do Bobby Darin. What else do you do?
Tom Jones, a little bit of Engelbert. depending upon the crowd and how I put the show together, it's a variety show. I call it Let the Good Times Roll variety show. So depending, I could do part of, I could do in a show, Sinatra, Dean Martin, and Sammy Davis Jr., who I absolutely love. Sammy is still today the best all around entertainer in the business.
Of all time. And Frank Sinatra would call him the world's greatest entertainer. He really was.
And that is so true. That is so true.
A musician, actor, singer. I mean, he was just fantastic. Another guy who had a pretty tough life, of course, growing up in that era. You know, remember Frank, the Kennedys didn't want him, getting married to Mae Britt because he was white, he was black. Right. And then, Frank had to tell him, hey, man, postpone your wedding. And I mean, this guy took a lot of shit, even from his own people. We're calling him an Uncle Tom. He took a lot of bad shit with that. But you know what? Hey, no one will never be another Sammy Davis Jr. And I'm surprised I'm surprised they've not done a movie of some sort of Sammy Davis Jr.
That is true. I don't know why. I don't know why either. But when Anchor wrote that song for him, he wrote that song for his variety show that he had in the 70s. Yeah. And if you listen to the words, I mean, when Anchor introduces the song, when he does his talk prior to the song, he talks about Sammy taking a back seat to no one, but there were times when he had to take a back seat.
Sure.
But he endured and he went forward with it. And the song, just like it says, I'm not anyone, no, not anyone. I have the right to lead a life fulfilled with every need. Sure. It's all about the racism thing with him. And it put together so well. I know that my wife, every time she hears me do the song, she wants to cry because then in the background is a whole thing of Sammy Davis Jr., different things of Sammy. So you definitely get the goosebumps with the song.
Lou, as an entertainer and doing it for as long as you have, and I talk to many, what's it like? Was it tough being married? I mean, I know you're married. I don't know how many years you're married, but you're always on the road. You're doing this, going over here. Girls are all around you. You got to have a pretty strong woman. And it took me, thank God, Laura, my great wife. It's my fourth wife, but it took me a woman who actually understands what it is. What's the secret to keeping a marriage and going like that?
Okay, I'm on my third.
Okay,
so's Anchor. So's Anchor's on his third.
There you go.
I have a wife that is so supportive. I mean, the first wife, my first wife, and all. Unfortunately, it went 17 years, but whatever. She was supportive. I was in the private sector. I owned a company doing weddings, bar mitzvahs, corporate events, the whole thing. So the traveling wasn't that bad. It was the weekends that were always working. And of course, I missed the confirmations. I missed the Holy Communions, all that stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we made it through. But then again, the girl factor got involved and then went to the second girl. And then that didn't last long. And then bingo, the dream came true. Here she is, so supportive, comes to all the big shows, sits there in the audience, and people come up to her at the end of the show. How do you do it? He's here, he's there. Are you jealous? And all. And she just rolls with it. And she's just happy to see me do what I love to do.
Yeah. And then you know what they say, I really believe the happy wife, happy life thing, and really makes a hell of a lot of sense. When you got the support of that, when you can go into work and stuff like that, you'll never have that problem.
No, exactly.
A little show about big things. Lou Villano. Lou, what do you got coming up? If they want to book Lou, how do they get a hold of you? What's the website? What it's all about?
They go right to paulanchortribute.com. It's the website. The calendar is there. There's videos on there. There's reviews of the show. And also everything is there. There's an EPK kit you can download with pictures and the whole thing. And one thing I have to tell you, if you research on Google Paul Anka tribute shows,
yes,
I am the only one. I have not found anybody that does a full blown. This is the thing. You could do 3, 4 Paul Anka songs
Right,
and
right.
you call it a tribute show. It's
Sure.
not. When you
No.
could take his live performance and put it to you and do that show with all his shtick and his lines and his actions and the banter and everything else and the little comedy stuff that he throws in. He does
Sure.
the thing. He does the thing with Times of Your Life. He talks about the times of your life and blah blah blah. And then he mentions something about a pharmaceutical company coming to him about wanting to do Diana in a commercial. And he sings the song about what they want. And it was like, I'm so old and you're so young. This, my darling, I've been told. Just take Viagra.
Oh, why not? Why not? Whatever it takes.
You know? So that's the stuff he does. And Times of Your Life is also used now in the Downey commercial.
Oh, that's true. That's right. That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep.
So he's been around a long time. Has Paul Anka or his people seen your show? Have you sent him videos or anything to his company?
I tried to get some videos backstage to him. I don't know if it ever got to him. There is a dear friend of mine who became a dear friend about 4 years ago, heard me do some of the Paul Anka stuff at a luncheon. And she came up to me and asked me if I knew. She mentioned a name. And I said, no, I don't know this particular person. She says, well, that's my son. He's in the management company that manages Paul Anka. So her son knows that I do Paul Anka. She met Paul Anka and said to him just about 2 years ago, pre-COVID, when he was doing meet and greets, said to him, you know, you have competition down here in Florida doing your show. So you better watch out. So he knows. And
he knows of you.
He knows.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Let's real fast. March 14th, 2020. Lou, that's when we found out about COVID. You heard
Yep.
about it. Clubs closing, theaters closing, shows
Correct.
are done. What was the
Correct.
first thing you thought, number one, for your business, and number two, your family? What'd you think about all that?
I was very depressed. I had tons of shows. I had another tour in Massachusetts that got canceled. And it was just, you know, it's something that we had to live with. I made it through, knock wood.
Yeah.
You know, no complaints. I worked on the show. I tweaked it a little bit more,
Right.
got some more arrangements, and knock wood, it's coming back, and I'm feeling really, really, really good about it.
That's all that matters there. Lou, you've met a lot of different people in your career. Just you don't have to get into details, but give me the one that you were in awe when you first met, whether it was a man or a woman that you were like, holy cow. Who was that besides Paul Anka?
Benny King from the Drifters.
Okay, there you go.
Met
There's a
Benny.
legend right there.
Oh, what a sweetheart of a guy.
God bless.
Unbelievable guy. Really, a gem, so low-keyed and everything. And he sang at this luncheon that they had for him, and he still had it. He was great.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, let's go on the flip side. You don't have to get into details, but with somebody that you met, you wanted to meet, thought was cool, ended up being a real, jerk, or maybe just a bad day, or, because there's so many different stories with people. Just wondering.
You know what? I really can't. I don't have anybody.
Good. All right. There you go.
I don't have anybody.
There you go. Lou, have you played in Chicago? Have you ever come?
No, I haven't, Tony. I'm leaving that to you.
I'm going to have to hook you up with Ron Onesti, and a good friend of ours who's got 2 theaters down here. He brings in Paul Anka twice a year.
Right.
And the incredible job that he does. But I'm sure he would love to have you.
Right.
Lou, one last question before you go, my friend. Somebody wants to start in the business, and they come up to you and say, hey, Lou, I'm a singer. I want to start. What advice can you give to them?
Start small. Do small little venues. build up your confidence, be relaxed, get your shtick down, have a nice show, and then let it build. Let it build from there. Get the proper materials to promote yourself. That's very important. Is
Sure.
the promo materials and how you present yourself. Branding. That's the key. Brand yourself. Logo, brochures, flyers, the video, the promo video, and all. All that is important because that's what's going to sell you. That 3-minute promo is the thing that either makes or breaks you.
That makes or breaks you.
Yeah.
Lou, you do a lot of shows with bands. Have you ever go down and do the tracks by yourself or with somebody
Yes.
else? But yeah, so
Yeah.
you do that. You do that as well.
In Florida, they do a lot of track shows.
Sure, sure.
So, but I'm now starting to book more with the band, which is what I really like.
What everybody really likes that.
Oh,
Absolutely.
it's great because you can banter back and forth with the guys in the
You
band.
can play with it, right? Tracks, you got to sing to what it is, and that's it. I mean, that's the unfortunately sometimes with that, but a lot of people are going into that route. Even some of these big stars now are using a lot of these tracks, and they all, just because some of these big stars lower the keys now because they can't sing as high as they used to.
Oh yeah, yep.
But I did not notice that with Paul Anka. He still hits those notes, and I don't know how old you think he is.
He's 81. He just turned 80. He just turned 80. He'll be 81 in July. And in his new show, because we just saw him at the Kravitz, what he's doing is, and I understand, he's got his rhythm section, he's got his sax player, he's got a sax player, musical director, he's got the girl violinist, percussionist, and he's got up in the two corners of the stage, he's got one guy doing the string parts,
Sure.
and he's got another guy doing the full horn section parts.
Right.
Where he used to go with like 2 saxes, trumpet, trombone, and his conductor. He's now got the conductor, and then a guy doing all his horn parts.
I've seen Tom Jones with a 5-piece band. He had three keyboard players. One was the horns, one was this, one was that. I mean, it is what it is, and people still enjoy because remember, people still see with your eyes.
Correct.
And that's what it's about.
Yep.
This is Ocean's Pit, the little show about big things. My good friend Lou Villano, all the way from Florida, with the #1 Paul Anka tribute, Times of Our Life. Check it out. Lou, thank you so much for being on the show, my friend. And let's talk. Let me see if I can get Ron on this to get you down there because you need to come to Chicago, my brother.
Right. Oh, one last thing I want to tell you.
Shoot.
Besides doing the entertainment stuff, I work for Major League Baseball.
Oh, I did not know that. So what do you do for Major League Baseball?
I do data stats and official scoring for spring training over in Jupiter for the Miami Marlins and the St. Louis Cardinals.
Wow.
And then starting actually last night was the first game for the minor league. I had a show last night, so I couldn't do it. But I am the official scorer and data stats for the minor league, the single A league of the St. Louis farm system, the Palm Beach Cardinals. This is my 16th season doing this.
God bless you, my man. That is so cool. So the question is to you, being from New York, were you a Mets or a Yankee guy?
Mets fan. My wife's family is all Yankees, so I get killed. I get
killed at home too because I'm a diehard Yankee fan. My kid's a White Sox fan. My other kid's Joey's a Cub fan. Tony's a Sox fan. So it is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Baseball's back, and I'm happy for that.
That's right.
Lou, man, keep doing what you're doing. Keep plugging. Thank you for bringing back some great times and great memories.
Thanks,
and
Tony.
hopefully maybe we could do something together.
I hope so too, T. It was a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Brother.
Thank you.
My good buddy Lou Villano, ladies and
Ciao,
gentlemen.
baby.
Mr. Paul Anka. Salute, my friend.
Salute.
God bless you. You got it. Ocean's Pit, the little show about big things, folks. It is Wednesday, the 13th of April, and we got some more great stuff to talk about. Lou Villano, man, it's great. Don't forget, tomorrow on Thursdays, my lovely co-host is my lovely wife, Laura, and you know how much people love that when she's on the show. A couple things coming up this week, of course, is Good Friday. Then we have Easter, so happy Easter to everybody, too. That's good. Starting Passover, too. So Easter and past that. Also today, today is National Scrabble Day. I don't know. Have you ever played Scrabble? I don't know. Probably did when I was a kid once. I'm not that good at it. Wow, what a great story, huh? Lou Villano, everybody. That is so cool. 9 of us Italians watching at lunch. Angelo, thank you for the same 9. God bless you, man. How cool is that? All right, what great stuff we still have to say, talk about, folks. Again, our prayers go out to everything, the people from Brooklyn, New York. What happened at that subway, horrible. The shooting, there was a shooter out there, shot 16 people. 10 were severely hurt. Nobody died so far. Some were in critical condition. The bad part about this is, ladies and gentlemen, this shooter is still, excuse me, this shooter is still at large. He's still at large in the New York City area, the Brooklyn area, which is a pretty scary thing. The guy just go out and shoot and stuff. Just horrible, horrible. And our prayers go out to that, folks. Philadelphia is going back to indoor masks in Philadelphia for some odd reason. The numbers are going up there in the Philadelphia area, and they're bringing back the indoor masks. This is in the state of Philadelphia. I have a great quote that Manny, a friend of mine, sent me. He says, "Get up, otherwise your comfort zone will destroy you. Get up and get out there, because if you stay in that comfort zone, it will destroy you. Mentally, physically, financially, will destroy you." And I love that quote. Thank you so much, Monica, for sending that. She's from Brookfield. Again, we lost a great comic, of course. Gilbert Gottfried dies at the age of 67 years old. Some people didn't like him. Some people did. I thought he was funny. He did have an annoying voice, but I thought he was funny, especially at the roasts that he did. The great late Gilbert Gottfried dies at the age of 67 years old. Also, today is National Unicorn Day. Remember when unicorn meant just the unicorn? Now it means so much other shit. Today is also National Grumpy Old Man Day. And as my wife would say, it's every day with Tony O. So National Grumpy Old Man Day today. National 8-Track Day. How many people remember the 8-Tracks? Oh, when you had them in the car. How about that? You'd have to listen to the whole tape because you couldn't go back to listen to the one song or like you do with the CDs. And also Happy Grilled Cheese Day. I had a grilled cheese sandwich once. My dad used to call it prison food. So I never had it. My wife and the kids like it, so that's cool. Facebook user, hello, Mo. Oh, thank you, Facebook user. How you doing? Like Chris's rock voice. There you go. Joe, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Scott Kraft, hey, buddy, what's going on? Oh, good friend of mine, Scott Kraft, remember many years ago at the Stay Out, having a great times out there, folks. All right, what else we got here, folks? I mentioned this on Friday. 2 kids, ladies and gentlemen, from Florida, put on they're called the Armored Clad Teenagers. They put on these armored bulletproof vests that police people wear and stuff like that when they go into a raid. Somehow these 2 guys got these vests. They bought them online. They started practicing shooting each other to see if they can hold the bullet. Unfortunately, one kid ends up dead. First of all, what are you doing with these bulletproof vests? How about the guns? Where were the parents? What is wrong with these people? One kid is dead because they tried doing this bulletproof vest thing. It's insane. It's totally insane. Crazy. How about this, folks? A Domino's worker. Domino's Pizza. Interesting. Started her day on TikTok, showing that she got in her car, driving to work, showing what she did in Domino's on TikTok. 15 minutes later, after she aired it, she was fired from her job. Fired from her job, says the boss said, you can't do that. I don't think she did anything wrong. She was showing she was happy where she works. I think it plugs Domino's. But this lady, unfortunately, got fired on TikTok. So who knows? We'll find out some more information about that. Just crazy. No stuff. Weird in history. I know. Isn't that? It's stupid hurts. There you go, Joe. That's great. Stupid does hurt. Another thing was kind of funny. Weird in history stuff. Remember Mr. Rogers, of course. Kids loved him. He got just, a lot of people liked Mr. Rogers. Then Tom Hanks did a great version in the movie. But he always weighed himself, and he always, through his life, stayed at the weight of 143 pounds. He's always been 143 pounds. And every day he weighs himself to make sure that he was 143 pounds. And you know what? We found out why he did that, because the number 143 143 means I love you. I never knew that. That's how cool of a guy Mr. Rogers was. Took a lot of shit, but you got to love a guy like that. Yesterday was hump day, Mr. Antonelli. Thank you yesterday for last night. Hope I'll see my buddy Dave tonight. Hope you're doing well, brother. All right, so this topic is kind of weird, but let's just put it in perspective here. All right? Don't think that gender, do you think that gender matters? To me, it matters because, ladies and gentlemen, if you take a rooster, buy a rooster for an egg, and then buy a bull for milk and see what happens. It's going to tell you that God knew exactly what he was doing. A rooster and a bull. You guys take that message as you want. Just had to throw that out there. Very important. Crazy. Ocean's Pit, the little show about big things, folks. And another thing, I just don't understand these. You got the illegal aliens coming into the United States. Listen, I want everybody to come to the United States. Pay your taxes and do it the right way. But these people are coming in. Our United States government, folks, are giving these guys giving $1,000 each. They're getting free tickets. They're getting all this free stuff, free airline tickets to fly, cash, phones. What about giving some of this stuff to our homeless veterans who've worked their life saving our country? What about those people? Why don't you take care of those people first before you take about these people coming into our country? Like it or not, it is what it is. Sad, but true that they don't take care of our own people in the greatest country in the world. It's pretty sad. Apparently, folks, you're better off having a rude and blunt friend. I posted this on my Facebook page because most of the time those people are realists. I'm not talking about how rude they are, but sometimes when you have a guy who tells it like it is, or a woman, like it or not, you know where they're coming from. The quiet ones, I always said you have to watch out for. And now these days, you can't say anything anymore. Yeah, Marion, thank you, honey. Yesterday was Taco Tuesday. Okay, I didn't know today. Grace Tone, I'm off. I'm running the bash before the storm. Ronnie B, let's get some fishing done. Maybe at the end of maybe mid-May, we have to hook up, brother. Always, Joe. I believe that. Always trust that. If you're golfers, congratulations to Roy McIlroy, I guess, who won the Masters. I'm not a golfer. I don't care for it. Tiger Woods was in there. You know, one time Tiger was huge. I guess he did pretty good for as far as he got. I don't know. I don't know how people can sit there and watch golf. It's like watching tennis. It's like watching like a fly die on the wall. Most boring sport ever. I don't play it, but a lot of people love it. A lot of people love it, but watching it has got to be completely crazy. Let's get some birthdays. We've had a lot of great birthdays that passed. The great David Cassidy, of course, this past weekend. David Cassidy of the Partridge Family. And the great singer in the back of the 70s. David Letterman turned 75 years old. Coco Dolenz, Mickey Dolenz's daughter, Mickey Dolenz's sister, who sings with him in the show when he does a tribute to the Monkees right now, celebrate a birthday. How about Jim Fowler? Remember him on the Tonight Show? Always used to bring in the different animal guests for the Tonight Show. I used to love Jim Fowler. Very cool. Stan Winston, a great graphics artist. He did all the monster masks and stuff back in the day. The great Stan Winston. Paul Davis, another singer-songwriter. Ward Bond, part of John Wayne's crew. Great actor. He's been a quiet man in a lot of great movies with John Wayne. Celebrates a birthday. Remember Chuck Connors, the Rifleman, celebrate a birthday. Robert Murphy, Murph in the Morning. Remember Chicago DJ Murph in the Morning celebrates a birthday this past weekend. Marty Krofft. Remember Krofft, the puppet shows they used to do, HR Puff and stuff, and all those great cartoons and puppet shows they did in the 70s. Marty Krofft. Great. Cheetah's birthday. Remember the TV show Tarzan? Oh, my God. Used to be one of my favorites. Cheetah. How about the great Peter Frampton celebrates a birthday, folks? Peter Frampton, of course, originally with Humble Pie. Then, of course, he had a big, giant solo career. The great Peter Frampton. Max Gail, the great actor in the TV show Barney Miller, celebrates a birthday. Warren DeMartini, the great guitar player for the hair band Rat, celebrates a birthday. Actually, Warren DeMartini is originally from Chicago, Illinois. Gotta love that. How about Dean Milano, turned 71, my good buddy, Friars Club member, Dean Milano. and congratulations on your birthday, pal. And my friend Rosanna Caputo, if you're watching, happy birthday to your father, 85 years old. David Cassidy, grew up, met him many times in person. I had a bad experience with David Cassidy. He was not a very nice man when I met him. And I think I told you the story about him. Robert Provenzano, the general, how you doing, my good friend? Hope you're doing well. All right, let's get some other stories here. Accidentally, ladies and gentlemen, a man walked into Starbucks and asked for a large cup of coffee instead of a grande, and the guy grabbed him and took him back and shot him in the leg. Of course, it's a joke. But when you go to Starbucks, I know in a grande, it's called a large cup of coffee. Large. Can I take an extra large or a large? Then he gave a grande. I mean, grande. Oh, those people that buy coffee from Starbucks. Oh, drives me crazy. Drives me crazy, folks. Yep. What are you going to do? Can I have a grande? Can I have a grande? Oh, shut up. You and your grande. All right, folks. Tell it like it is, like it or not. I know, folks. A couple other things here. It's pretty interesting. Someone said, if paying a cashier living wage will make the prices go up in groceries. Now, shouldn't the price in groceries go down if you remove the cashier from this job? That's an interesting question here. You notice now in Walmart and different grocery stores right now, they're taking a lot of the cashiers away. So now that they're taking the cashiers away, shouldn't the prices of food go down? No. Did man myself, Fred Harper, how you doing, my good friend? How about Venuti's? Roseanne, yes, we'll be there on the 18th, I think. April 18th, we'll be at Venuti's the 29th, if I'm correct. The 29th or the 28th of this month will be at Venuti's. Thank you, Roseanne, and happy birthday to your father, 85 years old. Fred Harper, Johnny Cocos, I hope you're doing well, but I love that picture of Fred smoking a cigar on Facebook. I love it. We gotta smoke one day, brother. I hope you're doing well. The kids probably go to Starbucks, right, Mark? Let's do it. Can I have a grande? It's called a large cup of coffee. Oh, drives me crazy. And you know what? In this crazy world, man, and stuff that you guys send me and stuff that I find myself, it's just mind-boggling to me how this world has changed so much. Listen to this. This is an Arizona mom. Now, mind you, this is a mom and a stepdad. A mom and a stepdad. This is how sick these people are in this world. A mom and a stepdad. They water-bedded the daughter. They set her on fire. They sexually abused her. They choked her. They beat her. They beat her with a machete and a crowbar and a hammer. You can't make this up, folks. This was an Arizona mom and a stepdad doing this to their daughter. This is when this person gets caught, should automatically go, bam. No jail time. No send him to a doctor because he's sick. These people are loose. They're nuts. They're crazy. This is what's happening in this world. I mean, this is to their daughter. Waterbed her, set her on fire, sexually abused her, choked her, beat her up with a machete, a crowbar, and a hammer. What is going on with this world, ladies and gentlemen? Shoot these people. This is insane what they're doing to kids. Crystal meth. There you go, John. Yeah, probably on something. It's pretty sad when it's your mom and your stepdad that's doing this shit. Bad enough when a stranger does it, right? Bad enough when a stranger does it. I don't know, folks. All right, a little tip from me to you, ladies and gentlemen. When you're doing your Zoom calls, if you're not going back to work or if you're not working in your office anymore and you're working from home, when you guys start your morning off or your afternoon in your Zoom call and you have your coffee cup, what you can do is blow on it while they're watching you. They're thinking it's hot coffee or tea. Actually, it's wine or booze. See? So you can fool them. Go. A little tip, a little free tip of charge here on Ocean's Pit, just in case you want to throw that out there. Thank you, Willie, for sending me that. I haven't seen Willie in a long time. Hey, folks, I just filled my gas tank for $22. Now, mind you, it was my lawnmower tank, but I'm trying to be positive. Yes, another one sent by Billy. Thank you so much. Oh, I love your jokes, folks. I love these very much. How about this? It's kind of cool. This is on Facebook, social media. A 9-year-old boy meets his sister for the first time, and it got 9.2 million views on social media. 9.2 million views. A 9-year-old boy seeing his little baby sister for the first time. Or at lunch with a so-called hot tea. There you go, Mark. Tony, the opera benefit for Ukraine displays to theater last night. Yeah, Herbie, I heard it was fantastic. Ron Onesti put that benefit together for Ukraine, which is fantastic. And I guess they're supposed to do one next week, according to Albert. They're doing another one, and rightfully so. I think it's fantastic, the great job that Ron Onesti does for that. A couple other people that we know that Will Smith was banned from the Oscars. A couple other things that were banned. Carmine Coletti from Godfather 2 for sexual abuse was banned from the Oscars. Harvey Weinstein, we know why he was banned from the Oscar. Piece of shit Bill Cosby, another one banned from the Oscars. Roman Polanski, banned from the Oscars. Adam Kindle, actor, sexual abuse, again, banned from the Oscars. And of course, now Will Smith has left. It's a crazy world we're living in, folks. Now, tonight we'll be at Anbazar, Italian restaurant, at 5:30 with Jerry Jams. Tomorrow we'll be at Chicago Prime Steakhouse in Schaumburg with Jerry Jams, 8 o'clock. Saturday we'll be at Norton's. Come on down in Highland Park. Great food with Ryan O'Ryan and my good friend Regina Karma stopping by. So it's going to be a lot of fun Saturday. And don't forget, this Sunday is Easter Sunday, folks. Tax day coming up. April 15th is tax day. Hope you get your taxes done there. And don't forget the big show coming up, folks, May 29th at the Des Plaines Theater, oshows.com, celebrating 30 years. Nick Sahajas and his band, of course, the great Regina Karma, Kim Peterson-LeFew, Denise Tomasello, Diva Montel, the Jersey Girls, Matt Cassane, Jack D'Amico, Daryl Armstrong, Tony Toto, Danny Ramonde, Anthony Napolitano, Mojo's Jukebox, the Dream Police, Ocean's Rat Pack. It's going to be a lot of fun Sunday, May 29th at the Des Plaines Theater. Please go get your tickets at oshows.com. Mojo's Jukebox is also doing the after party. And Mojo's Jukebox is my band tomorrow night, doing the hits of Bryan Adams, Eddie Money, Loverboy, all the great rock and roll songs from the 70s and 80s. Tomorrow night we'll be at Riley's. Thursday, that's tomorrow, the 14th at Riley's Gathering Spot or Place in Elmhurst, 8 o'clock show. Come on down. It's going to be a great, great time, folks. All right. It's coming to the end of the day. I want to thank Lou Volano, ladies and gentlemen, #1 Paul Anka impersonator. You got to Google his stuff. He's fantastic. Originally from New York, now living in Chicago. And hopefully we'll get our good friend Lou to come. I got to talk to Ron Onesti. I'm going to leave it with one last thing, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, tomorrow is Thursday. My lovely co-host is my wife, Laura, of course. It's going to be great. One last thing, you guys put this in perspective right now. Back in 1998, at that time, they said, don't get in a car with a stranger. 1998. This was the mentality of people in the world. Don't get in a car with a stranger. 1998. Now, then, in 2008, don't meet people on the internet alone. If you find people on the internet, they want to meet you, don't meet them alone. Now, that was 2008. Now we're in 2022, and now we can get a complete stranger on the internet to pick you up, and it's called Uber. Tell me how screwed up this life has been. Because in 1998, don't meet a stranger alone. And then in 2008, of course, don't meet somebody on the internet alone if you go meet them on a date. It's crazy, right? Now, 2022, on your computer, on the internet, you're meeting a complete stranger that's picking you up in his own car. It could be a child molester. You don't know, right? It's just crazy. The world is coming nuts. Anyway, folks, go out and support local establishments. Erica, I hope your foot is better, my dear. Thank you so much, Joe. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Herbie. Thank you, everybody that's watching the show today. And thank you for just supporting local talent, man. It's very important. Thank you so much. Now, before we go, we're going to thank our good buddies from Portillo's. That's right, Portillo's Fundraisers. If you have a nonprofit organization looking to raise some money for your group, call our son Joe at 224-636-3646 or go to jfank@portillos.com. Great company. That's Portillo's. Don't forget my wife's company, folks, Laura Ocean Solutions. If you're dealing with credit card processing, that's right, increased profits while reducing credit card fees. She's great at what she does. Go to lauraoceansolutions.com. And last but not least, our sponsors, of course, my good buddy from Patriot Funding Incorporated. That's right, out of Roselle, Illinois. Patriot Funding, commercial money lending at its finest, up to 100% financing available, and so much multiple choice. Go call my buddy Dave Antonelli at 630-675-4730. He will take care of you. That's Patriot Funding Incorporated. Mr. Ray, I hope you're having a good time in Florida. Thank you, April, our executive producer, and thank you all for watching the show today. Support local establishments. Go out and support live entertainment. God bless you all. And the great words of Ringo Starr, peace and love, peace and love. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same station. Tonight, Avanzari Italian Restaurant in Lombard. Early show, 5:30 with Jerry Jams. Tomorrow, Mojo's Jukebox, rocking and rolling in Elmhurst at Riley's, 8 o'clock. Friday, Chicago Prime Steakhouse, folks, 8 o'clock. And, of course, Saturday, Norton's in Highland Park, 8:30 show. Thank you guys so much. God bless you. Have an incredible day, everybody. Nicholas, take us.
Time to go, it's the end of the show. See you later from Tony O.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.